Hello, hello, hello. It is time to talk pay-per-views, and we're locked in more than Paul Heyman watching Roman Reigns. Women, make sure to get a guy that looks at you like that. He, she's, theys, and all those who slay from the top rope of podcast excellence. Welcome to Kicking Out 2. I am Michael. This is my co-host in the corner, weighing in with hot takes and killer vibes. It's Tori. How are you?
Can't deal with you. I don't know why that struck me so funny, but that was so good. That was a good one.
Well,
Ooh,
back to the question,
that
other
was
than you
funny.
can't handle me. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Had a good weekend and
That's good. My brain is swimming. I've been watching some Triller today and catching up on Dynamite and catching up on NXT and trying to get everything set up for today. Um, WrestleMania week. We are almost to the end of it. Very close here. Emotions are high. The stakes are higher. So ready for some next level stuff to come up on this weekend. Before we lay on our predictions, though, for Stand and Deliver and the show itself, why don't we go ahead and think a little bit about the past here? So we are going to do, since we missed on Tuesday, a round of 3 count.
we keep these kind of short too, because
Yeah.
there's a lot going on right now.
There is a lot going on right now. So we'll go ahead and start with yours. I think there's only really one of your topics that is like a big talking point that we might stick on for a minute. But
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and start there. So your first one, you said you want to do Mercedes Moné versus Athena, a clash of the Titans in the women's Owen Hart tournament.
Okay, so first of all, I'm stunned by the outcome of this.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this should be a pretty good match. Now, was it the smoothest match ever? No, but I do feel like there's been a lot of matches of Mercedes that just aren't as smooth as they should be.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I can't tell you this is what's missing or what's going on or what the problem is or whatever, whatever the situation is that's causing this. Um, but it was a great match, just start to finish. Great match.
It
Um,
was a great match. I agree with you on the finish. Like, to me, this is an easy layup to have Athena beat her
yeah, I
because
don't.
she doesn't win the title. Like, it gives her a
It
reason
would
to
not have
challenge
hurt.
her for the title. So,
Now, the flip side of this is when Mercedes loses in the finals to whoever it is, which is probably going to be Jamie Hayter.
mhm.
Um, but when Mercedes loses that, then Athena can come after. She can go after Athena, which I'm fine with. Do not make her a double champion in the company. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No. We've already
I
got a
know
belt
you
collector.
want
We don't
to.
need to do it again.
I know you want to because um she is a very recognizable name. Like you don't have to do a ton of marketing for people to know who Mercedes Moné is.
No, not at all.
Yes, a lot of people still refer to her as Sasha, but you know who she is.
Yeah.
Um, do I think she needs to have the Ring of Honor title and what she has? No, absolutely not. I fully expect Athena to cost her that win to
Yeah,
set
I
up
could see
that
that.
match. I won't be surprised if we get another match and it's not a belt for belt or anything. It's Athena saying, I want to get back. And then Athena wins, and then all in, then we have some title of some kind involved.
Yeah.
But it was just a great match, start to finish. They're in Boston, so the crowd was great.
Yeah.
Um,
And
obviously,
can we talk about the arena for a second?
I love that arena.
The fact it's very Hammerstein-esque.
Yes.
In fact, actually, I thought for a second that I didn't, maybe I missed something that they were in the Hammerstein, because when they first came out, it was very
Right.
much like there's the column and it's 2
Yes.
stories. But then I saw the
Yeah.
3 stories and all that. But small arena, but a lot of people looked
This is the
amazing because of
type
it.
of arena they need to keep working these arenas. And here's the problem I'm seeing with All In. If you pan the whole stadium, it's going to look empty.
Yeah.
I love the thought. I'm here for it. I would rather you have run like American Airlines
Mhm.
because it's a bigger basketball arena rather than doing Globe Life.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to look full.
Yeah.
They're not going to fill the stadium. They don't have seats open in the whole stadium.
Well, and like I get the thing of maybe they're going to be able to do everything but hard cam, and so they'll lighten up hard cam. But the fact that they were able to follow the girls around that entire match because they were going in and out and all around the ring, and you saw no dead spots.
Yeah.
That is what they should be working towards.
Yes.
Just because you want it to look as filled as possible. Also, I love, and it's maybe it's the old timer in me, but WCW used to do it, ECW used to do it. Having that ramp go up to the ring, it's a different feel, and I think they need something that is theirs. You got TNA had the 6-sided ring, and that was their thing. That was their difference. Having that little bit of just look difference is paramount.
I don't know that every arena is built to do that. And I think that's the problem. Now, it worked in Jacksonville. That was part of what made Jacksonville Daly's place so good, is you had that stage right up to the ring.
Right.
Whether it was behind it, off the side, however, it was a better stage view.
Yeah. And
I'm all for these.
Go ahead.
I'm all for these smaller arenas. It makes it look more full. They're selling them out. And it just looks better for production.
Right.
You're not dealing with, because I hate to say it, when they came to Tulsa and did the BOK, it wasn't full.
No, it wasn't.
Like half that place wasn't full. So I get it, but these smaller venues make more sense. And I know, of course, they've made a big deal about this being this. They're now the longest running show on TV, Turner Sports. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I get that. You're not doing attendance wise what they did.
Yeah.
We're not comparing apples and oranges here.
Yeah.
I get the numbers, the number of shows. Yeah, you're longer.
Yeah.
You're not doing what they did. So I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit about this.
Well, and I do want to bring up, just because like we always try to stay on the positive side of things, and I want to show some positivity to somebody who gets a lot of negativity because of what he says about AEW, and that's Eric Bischoff. So they had asked Eric, how does this affect you? What do you think about it? He's like, honestly, good for them. It doesn't affect me at all. Good for them. It shows the persistence, it shows his drive to have this thing work, and it takes a lot of work to do that, and it still does.
Here's my problem. He couldn't leave it alone, because there was more to that whole quote about basically about how much money Tony's spending.
Okay.
There's a longer quote. And he said something, and then Nick Khan said almost the exact same thing, basically saying Tony's spending daddy's money.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, you couldn't just admit that they had a longer run than you and leave it alone. You had to go there. You were playing with Ted Turner's checkbook. Fuck out of here.
I mean, you're not wrong there.
And the second AOL took over, they were like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that anymore. And you disappeared. So,
well,
you really get to stand on your high horse about this?
He's just cosplaying Flintstones over there being petty, petty rubble. It's fine.
Legit.
but
anyway,
back to the point though. Two ladies had a wonderful match.
Yes.
Now we get either
match.
Monet and Hayter, or we get Monet and Statlander again. Either one of those is going to be great. And then Athena's going to be waiting in the wings after it. So
I feel like the most likely is Hayter.
I think so.
I would love for it to be Stat. Don't get me wrong. I think Stat has earned a world title run.
Oh yeah.
The problem is the lack of fan reaction when she comes out in general.
Yeah.
Since she left the Best Friends, her reaction isn't near what it used to be.
Yeah. I think if she won the Owen Hart and we put her on a track to get her back to the world title, finish out this story with Willow after Willow's done dealing with the Death Rider stuff, I think then we could put her back in that place. So we'll see. All right. Well, for number 2, speaking of,
Okay, so you told me about it earlier.
mm-hmm.
The WrestleMania week emoji drops on Fortnite.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. These are just emojis for people. Leave it to Xavier to retweet it with where hashtag Xavier Woods and hashtag Kofi Kingston emojis. We only have the most title reigns of any team ever in WWE history. And we're about to run the score up this Saturday. Per usual, we will have to give ourselves our own flowers.
I love Woods.
Woods being Penny LaBelle is so great.
He is so good. Actually, I watched episode 2 of their D&D thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
And he's just phenomenal in it.
Oh, he's fantastic in anything. I'm so jealous of all these people that are at Mania. I'm so jealous.
All right, well, so back to the count here, though. So at number 2, speaking of the other con, Nick Khan fires corporate shots without naming any specific names, but he does say some shit that got a lot of reaction from a lot of people.
This is a case of I don't know anything about the talent. My name's just up here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that mentioned Daddy's Money specifically.
Yeah.
Do you have the quote?
So I have some of the quotes here.
Okay.
So specifically him talking about Daddy's Money, I don't, but he had a spot where he was giving props to Shad Khan, but he was kind of sidestepping Tony in that same statement because he says that's business as usual. He said it with a subtle respect the wallet, not the product. So that was kind of an interesting thing to throw there. He talked about turning a co-founder, turning them into a main eventer. Talked about CM Punk being not a cancer, always a gentleman. Like making specific jabs at obviously things that had happened in AEW before coming back here. He also mentioned a statement of contract for silence, talking about people that have been hired from WWE to AEW that have been just kind of contracted and left on the burner, saying that if you guys let people go, we'll take them and we won't just have them sit in the back and disappear.
Okay. The word he used was benching people.
Yes.
Sir, let me explain something to you about how your business works. You have a bloated ass roster, even bigger than AEW's, and they're running 2 fucking promotions.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time Natalya had an actual TV match that mattered?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Andrade? Becky Lynch has been signed for months.
I think there's a reason she's gone.
I'm okay with the Becky one, but I'm just saying you can't sit here and act like you're not giving. How long was it before AOP debuted?
Mm-hmm.
They were there, what, a year?
Well,
you have Hikuleo on contract for how long?
That's what I was going to say, because I think it's been like 7 or 8 months now.
Sir, you need to sit this conversation out.
Yeah.
Okay? This is not a conversation for you. The adults in the room are talking. Go sit over there and collect your big fucking paycheck.
Well, and like I'm kind of curious, and this is where I'm going to kind of piggyback on you here a little bit. It seems to be that him and Tripp are going on this media tour of we're just going to say some shit to stir up shit and see what happens. Because Tripp's kind of been doing it too. talking about the media out there, talking about the social media, talking about the fans. Basically, like you guys say the word pivot all the time. We don't need to pivot. You just need to wait because you don't know what the fuck's happening. Oh shit! Hold on, sir. We watch the product the way we watch the product. Like if we're watching it, shut up.
I'm just wondering if the WWE PR's team all quit before this week, because that's not the only news that's come out today.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into the other one because that's going to be a soapbox thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
But who allowed the questions? And sir, what?
Yeah.
Your attendance is probably going to be one of the lower attendances you've had at WrestleMania in probably 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've priced yourselves out.
Yeah.
I get you are spending an assload of money. You are also making an assload of money before you even open the fucking doors to the building.
Yep.
Like, did you look at the ticket prices for some of these meet and greets?
I did, yeah. Some of them are insane. I could
That's
not
what
imagine.
I'm saying. And can you imagine the number of people that were paying that?
Yeah.
Like, I saw people that posted like 4 different things, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I mean, you're
What
talking.
do you do for a living?
I want to say it was like $4,000 or $5,000 to have like a lunch meet and greet with Cody. Next under that was Bianca and somebody, which I found kind of weird. It was like you can have just Cody for $5, or for $5 you can also have Bianca and somebody else.
See, I'm the kind. Would a lunch with Cody be amazing? Fuck yes. Would I rather pay the little bit less to have Bianca and somebody? Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a cheap bitch like that.
I just want to know, where was the like $200 for Liv and Dom to just eat chicken tendies with me? Where's that one at?
Same.
Because
I'll spring for the chicken
I was
tendies.
gonna say, I'll pay for the tendies. Let's do this.
I've looked at the tickets for All In, and apples and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be clear, apples and oranges.
Yeah.
I know this. But the fact is, in a stadium like Globe Life, when you have the ring on the field, there really aren't a lot of bad seats because you're going to have the overhead screens.
Yeah.
There's $35 tickets for that show.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to sit closer? Yes. That's because I'm a bougie bitch. But does it make that much? Like, it's one of these things where you are flaunting these things as we can do all of these things. Well, yes, you're right. You can.
Yeah.
But you're about to have about a third of the fucking audience you normally have because you're pricing yourself out of these situations.
Yeah. Well, and here's where I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate. It's because, 10 years ago ish, somewhere around in there, WrestleMania became an event. It was no longer like, you're not just going there to see the show. It's
Absolutely.
not just watching wrestling. It's the experience of being at WrestleMania.
Yes.
And that's why, like, you'll see, cheapest tickets there, $200 or whatever in the nosebleeds. But for a regular Raw, it's $25 to sit back there.
So let me I pulled up the tickets for Globe Life. Okay. What they're showing available right now. For ringside, section F, which is on the floor, on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Less than $400 for a ticket?
Yeah.
And that's 12 rows back. Kind of a corner shot, $415. I understand, like you said, yes, WrestleMania is 1000% a event. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Have you looked at everything AEW is doing in Texas for the week of All In?
I've seen a bit of it, and so I know they're trying to do the same thing, which is make it a whole ordeal.
So they are. Let me pull it up here. Okay. The 9th is Dynamite in Garland, which is just outside of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
The 10th is Collision in the same place. The 11th and 12th is StarCast, which means there's going to be a ton of people in town for it. The 11th is Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. And then the 12th is All In, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. You're giving me a Saturday pay-per-view at 2 in the afternoon? Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. And then you still have time to hit all those other things.
Because StarCast will still be going.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they're doing this right.
Absolutely, they are.
They're making this a thing. And the fact that Death Before Dishonor is back in that esports arena in Arlington, that's going to look so good.
Yeah.
This is why I'm saying you're picking a fight you're not going to win in terms of how the public sees things, other than those tribalistic dicks.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear there.
Yeah.
Those tribalistic dicks are just going to be tribalistic dicks. But I'm looking at this like the map for All In. No, they're not doing the whole stadium. They're not. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Now, if something were to change and these tickets started selling like crazy, do I think they would open up more seats?
Okay.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
They'd be dumb not to.
Do I think they're going to have to position cameras so this doesn't look bad? Absolutely. But you're also in a place that you're running a show for the first time in terms of big shows. To make the comment that Nick Khan made about benching people with the roster they have, yes, there are a ton of people on the AEW roster that don't really do anything. You're right. And this is why you and I've talked about bring back things like Dark and Elevation. Get them out there, even if it's 3 days in a row, once a month to record 10 shows. Okay.
Yeah.
They're still getting reps. They're still getting ring time.
Mm-hmm.
They're still going to get TV time somewhere, whether it's YouTube or whatever. Like, you have this Max deal. Why are we not doing Dark and Elevation for Max? Why would that be any different than YouTube?
I don't know why we didn't keep it on YouTube.
I know why on that one, but that was Warner. It's Warner Brothers.
Oh, did
they
Warner
didn't want to give up the? Yeah, that was a Warner Brothers thing.
Okay.
That's why they ended Dark and Elevation, because Warner Brothers doesn't own YouTube. They weren't getting anything out of it.
Okay.
That came out not long after they said it was getting canceled. But it's one of those things.
Give them a percentage of the revenue you get from it. Like it's easy
I
enough.
agree, but
I'm not a businessman.
But back to the original point. The original point of we don't bench people. Bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of asinine things he said in that. And it's one of those I'm really interested to kind of see over the next few more days of these pressers that they're doing, hyping up WrestleMania, to see what other things are going to come out. The only thing I will say is I need them to stop responding, because as bad as this looks, because here's the thing, this is, you have two good examples here. You have Andre the Giant, you have Bruce Lee. If Andre the Giant tears apart Bruce Lee, Andre the Giant does not look any better for it, because he's a massive human being and he's punching down. That's what Nick Khan is doing. He's punching down, and he needs to stop. But then you have Tony responding, which then looks bad. You have Ricochet, which has responded with two different things. One saying, just whatever to the benching thing, but then also says, they tried to hire me back, and I said no. That doesn't math in my head.
So I would not be surprised if when Samantha said I'm leaving, that they went, if we rehire him, will you stay?
Maybe.
So I don't think it, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to find out that they tried to keep him or get him back.
But I kind of wonder though if it's still a little flaky on the way that was said, because I think Samantha would have said no, because Samantha didn't leave because Ricochet left. She left because she wanted to do other things. She did not like just being the announcer.
Right. She wanted to do more.
So
And
it seems like
still
a
don't
weird thing to
understand
say.
why
And
they
be
didn't
like,
let her.
I didn't. I told him no. I don't know that you did, sir.
Honestly, I think if they released him like they did, which we were all, why the fuck am I going fuzzy? What is
I don't know.
happening today? If they released him like they did and then said, hey, we want to bring you back, I don't doubt that he went, you know what? I'm good. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of that. I wouldn't be shocked at all, honestly.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's go to your 3, though. Your 3 is Ospreay versus Takeshita, a Dynamite Classic worthy of a replay. An amazing ass match that happened, which I don't think you could ever not say that an amazing match happened with Takeshita and Ospreay being in the same ring.
So I was watching that match today, and I know people are going to start the whole no selling, blah, blah, blah. These two absolutely beat the ever loving piss out of each other. There were a couple of kicks from Ospreay that I'm like, fuck, he kicked his teeth out of his face.
Mm-hmm.
I just, these two have been in the ring a couple times together, and it's never been bad.
No.
You could give me this match about once a month, maybe once every other month, and I'm fucking down. Let's go. I was blown away by how good this match was. The hitting each other's finishers, the false finishes,
Mm-hmm.
it was just a great back and forth match that just kept getting better.
It did. The only thing I will say about this that I think was negative, I don't know why we did this on a Dynamite.
I did.
That was it. Like, this
I
should have
did
been.
kind of wonder.
That should have been a pay-per-view level match, because that's what it was.
It should have been.
And then wasn't the main event of the night.
That's the other thing that was crazy.
But I understood it, though, for what ended the night, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But
absolutely. This was crazy. Like, it was just crazy.
it was a great match. And then, like, there was that fake collapse spot that they did, which was a nice touch. Like, it's just great. Ospreay got the win. He needed the win.
He did. I agree.
We've been
I was
doing
a little surprised by it, but I'm good with it.
Yeah. So, maybe we're building him to be the next guy to go after Moxley, or we're still waiting for, Mr. Climb a Mountain to come back.
Somebody just posted a picture of him
Oh, yeah?
getting ready to climb the mountain.
Yeah. No, yeah, he hasn't actually started climbing yet.
I'm like, what do you, what?
Well,
Climb the fucking mountain, bro. What you gotta do? Train or something?
You do. You have to trade your body for that shit.
I'm kidding. Yes.
Okay.
The altitude is craziness. No, I'm just being a smartass.
But the thing I like about this, though, and it's good that you did this one and you did the Athena Monet match. The Owen Hart tournament to me has never really felt important, and it's because it's always been wrapped up in something else. You had the Jeff Jarrett, like, I've got to win this because it's for Owen stuff. And then before that, it was just kind of like, it was the tournament that we do because we're doing one. And to me, it almost felt more like Martha's thing than it did AEW's thing. Because it was more of like, look, we're going to do an Owen tournament over here because they respect my family. And We know what you're saying when you say that, so it's fine. But having these two matches be on that card for this, for to have those four big names, not even in the finals. We're talking like next to finals.
They've made this tournament bigger.
Yeah, it's made it a thing, and I'm good with it. It's definitely redefined what the standard's going to be for this tournament going forward, and I'm
100%.
perfectly fine with that.
100%. Yeah, Mercedes and Athena tore it up, and then Osprey and Takeshita fucking tore it up. I'm assuming you're covering the main event in yours.
Yes.
Okay. They've made the tournament feel important.
Yeah.
Do I think the bracketing was trash? 1000%. Because that match with the girls last night, the ladies, should have been the first. Should have been the finals, I mean.
Yeah, it should have been the finals.
That should have been the finals.
If I don't think it should have been the finals, to be honest, but I don't think it should have happened. That's my point.
Fair.
But for the fact that we were going to make them meet in the tournament, it should have been the final. Because then that should have gave whoever wins that the bragging right of I beat the blah champion. Whether it's I beat the TBS champion or I beat the ROH champion.
Yeah.
And then give them a reason
not been pinned
to run it back.
In how many matches?
Yeah.
Like, that's part of why I was so shocked by the win.
Yeah.
I liked how they did it. It was an out of nowhere roll up.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a made her tap out. It was not a. So I was good with that.
So a little bit of cold water, Michael, on this one. The only thing I did kind of find a little weird about it is that Aubrey's face was right there at the hand holding of tights.
And did
make it make sense.
Right.
If
now,
you
that's
see
fair.
her holding the tights.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
and you could have waved it off. They're both good enough that they would have reset and done it again so that Aubrey wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
And it's just positioning.
It is. It was just happens. They were too close to the ropes. She was facing that way.
Yeah, there was a couple of times that what they tried to do wasn't working. So it's just one of those things that shit happens.
Yeah.
It's no different than Chelsea getting counted out on Friday.
That's true.
The ref did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if that's how that was supposed to work, though. Like, it just didn't come off as well as it probably should have.
They're saying it wasn't. She was supposed to get back in.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
And then Aldous was like, Katy Perry was in space less time than you were outside the ring. Sir. Sir.
That's a whole other thing, which we won't talk about here.
We're not doing that.
Nope. All right, we're going to go and move over to my three. My first one, seems like every week I'm bringing up LFG because it's a really damn good show. Bayley Humphrey debuted a new finisher that
let's be clear.
Well, new to her.
A new finisher for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Shane Mercer's finisher that he's been using. She pulled that off. She did call him. Apparently, it's someone that she's trained with and worked with. So, like, she had no problem calling him, go like, hey, I want to do this. And he was like, all right, go ahead. But essentially, it's crazy. It's like a power slam started as a power bomb. I don't know how to explain
remember what he calls it.
Well, while you're looking that up, just essentially, like, the last week's episode was a lot about, like, finding your own finisher and all that, which she's been doing the cranium crunch for a while, kind of like the old, like, Kona Crush or
she
Kali.
Calls it the Mercy Kill, which is a great fucking name.
Great name.
He calls it.
Anyway, to explain it real quick, so she reaches between the legs, grabs her opponent's hands, lifts them into a modified powerbomb position, and then rolls them over into like a power slam position. and just she did it so well, and it went so smooth. It was really nice. Shows her raw power, shows good timing. The visual of it is amazing because she is a tall woman. Um, even like Taker himself, like was open jawed. Um, Bully Ray, open jawed at that finisher. So it was really something that kind of threw it out there. The only thing that I kind of question it is, which this is her third match of all time, which is insane that she already is doing that well and has that good of a finisher. But when the inevitability happens of her moving to NXT, how many people is she going to be able to do that to? Because like you can't, like her and Lash. If her and Lash are in the ring, the likelihood that she's going to be able to pull that off on a Lash, probably not.
I don't know that she could do that to Lash. She might have trouble with Zarya.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the rest of the she may have trouble with Jordan.
No,
But overall, Jordan,
Jordan's short.
true. Very
With
true.
me, it's more the size of like getting them started in that position. Because like I look at, if she moved up to the main roster and fought Raquel, well, I think
She can't
could.
do it to Raquel.
I think she could pick Raquel up, but to start the move off, you have to have them in a very precarious position that I think your two bodies are not going to bend into.
Fair.
So I think she's still going to have something on the side. Maybe she just sticks with a cranium crush on that one because it does look impressive of her just flexing her muscles and squeezing the shit out of someone's head. But it was an amazing, amazing thing to pull that off. And I do want to say the Sparkle Princess herself got another point for Bully Ray's team. Xena herself, which nobody thought was going to be worth anything in this entire competition. They are getting a little more kayfabe with the show, and I'm not okay with that. I liked it being more realistic, but it's quite obvious now that they've got a storyline going with him and the dude who quit because he hurt his shoulder. So they're obviously doing a story there. I don't want that. I want to see these kids actually trying to better themselves and not have this backline story on part of it. For my number 2, Styles versus Kross. The fact that it wasn't a match, but it was a setup. The whole point of this match, which Big Mike over on the Run In Wrestling podcast, he had mentioned when he was talking about this match. I know that the people on the internet are going to be like, but they're burying Karrion Kross because he didn't win. That wasn't the point of this match. The point of this match was he was trying to get that bulldog out of AJ Styles. And so when it got to him doing the phenomenal forearm, the just absolute perfect touch of it, put his arms behind his back, cracked a smile
on
and
his
waited
face,
for it.
Arms behind his back.
Mm-hmm. And even tried to pull it out earlier by doing a fake knee injury. He dropped to the ground, he was holding his knee, trying to get AJ to attack him, despite the fact that he was quote unquote hurt. And once he didn't do that, then he attacked him. There was a funny part in the match though. There was a little flub up of Karrion was trying to pick up AJ, and they just, I don't know, they weren't positioned right or something. And so they had to reset. They did the move again. Karrion basically body slams AJ and then says, AJ, are you trying to sandbag me? It's like loud enough for everybody to hear it.
Did you see his after match promo in the back?
Yes.
I get to wake up next to a naked Scarlet. You win life, sir.
You
well
win,
done,
sir. Good job.
Okay. I can't find the name of this move, but I've heard it.
Yeah.
I can't find the damn name of this move though, and it's pissed me off.
We'll find it at some point, or we'll remember it when we're not even thinking about it. Just because it was part of the same thing. Like the whole point of this is he's trying to tell AJ that you need to beat this kid for us back here. Because what it is this kid's coming in here and trying to be part of our business, and he doesn't have any need to be in our business. So you need to take care of this for us, for the boys, for the people in the back. So after Styles ends up winning, Logan Paul comes out, does a promo, hit all those heel heat spots in his promo. Kross got up at that point. Styles then tried to attack Kross, which then opened it up for Logan to hit that pulverizer finisher, which again is just, it's such a pretty ass finisher.
I fucking hate him, but
It's such a
the
good finisher.
Diablo driver. God mode is what they call it.
Okay.
Diablo driver, same thing.
There you go.
Double wrist clutch into a power slam. They call it God mode.
Which I have some thoughts about what this match is going to do, like how this is going to present itself at WrestleMania, which we'll talk about that in our
This
predictions
match,
here in just a little
I hate
bit.
to fucking say it. This match is gonna cook.
It is. My last one, yeah, you mentioned it. I'm going to talk about the main event of AEW Dynamite. It's been a while since I got to give AEW some love on my 3 count, and so I'm really glad to have it on here because this is something I've been complaining about. Yeah, this is something I've been complaining about for months. Is this stupid Death Riders thing that needs to be fixed? Because it went off the rails, and it was obvious that like there was a plan that was supposed to happen. The plan did not happen, and so then we just kind of booked it without that piece that we're missing. And I think we're finally at a point where we're putting those pieces kind of back together. But so we ended up in a power shift because we had the trios belts that were on the line. It was supposed to be Ops versus the Death Riders. Well, Pac got injured in a legit injury. And so
again,
yeah, and so then that's why Mox took over his spot. So all 3 of them in the ring, and then so Shibata and Joe show up on the ramp. We find out that there was a spot of Hook getting beat up before the show by the Death Riders to write him off because he's got something physical going on. I've seen no details of what it is, but something physical. I know that there was a video of him throwing up in the ring last week, and there's rumors that there's a concussion. And so I don't know what it is, but something physical is all that they're really saying. But so we think it's going to be 3-on-2, and then Hobbs' music hits, and we found out that Hobbs has joined Ops. So
for somebody they really haven't been doing a lot with, which, this is a great place for him.
It is. Having him...
It makes sense.
It does make sense. Having him stand side by side with Samoa Joe, being under Samoa Joe's wing, a big dude that can move like hell and can talk you into the building, it's a perfect tree to be under. He has been in so many groups that just did not fit him. Because like he was with MJF for a little while. You're not going to be MJF, sir. That's not who you are. He's not going to be able to teach you what you need to know. He was with the Don Callis family. That group, as good as it is a group together, the individuals are not as good as the sum of the parts.
Right.
So there was not really a lot of people in that group that was going to help him excel. Him being with Joe is going to be an amazing opportunity for him. But so we find out, surprise, he is the guy that's going to cover for it. This was an overbooked mess, but I love overbooked messes. Give me a death to finish anytime, baby. I love these things of just everybody's out there and things happen because the Bucks come out, Swerve comes out, Willow comes out because of what Mox did to her the previous week.
Willow comes out, grabs the chair from Mox and hits him with one of these, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm so here for it. I won't be surprised if Anarchy in the Arena includes Willow and
it should. Marina.
Oh my God.
Well, and if nothing for the fact that Marina Shafir was attacking Hobbs during the match. So you're going against the guys, why not? Go ahead and throw her in with the guys too.
And Willow took that DDT like a champ.
Yeah.
And I feel like Willow is one of those people that you can put her in there with the guys and it's 100% believable.
Yeah. But the finish of this, so once we got, the Bucks are out of the picture because Swerve dealt with that. You've got just the 6 guys because you got the Willow things taken care of now. She's even the playing field with the whole Marina thing. You got Shibata that took out Claudio, with a sleeper. Hobbs destroyed Yuta by throwing him through the announce table, which just left Joe in the middle of the ring with Moxley with the Coquina clutch on and taps him out for the win. Blew my mind that they did this. And in that moment, and this is where I'll give them credit with the same thing we say about WWE all the time of like, as soon as I think I'm done with this story, they do something weird, and then I'm like, all right, I'm in now. I'm in. They wrapped all of this up.
So between that and then what happened tonight, they've made the Death Riders interesting again.
Yeah. Now I'm interested.
Because Mox is losing his shit.
Yeah. So much so that he's saying he wants Joe. Because of the fact he choked him out.
I'm sorry, sir. You think that's a good idea?
Especially with that big bastard and that crazy Shibata behind him? No. I mean, obviously now we kind of wonder what's going to be next for Hook and Pac once they come back, because like they're going to be out of this story for the moment. But yeah, I mean,
I mean, if they're both out for a while, then
yeah. But it was a great match. It was booked really well. It was exciting. Every little bit of it made sense. And it's been a while since they've done that. And I'm really happy that we got to that point, that we have something that was booked with purpose. Now I feel like we're going to have a...
stupid now.
I was going to say, now, are we doing a Wyatt promo? What are we doing?
Yes, I turned into one of the Wyatt 6, just like that. There we go. What the hell?
Then you turned it back off.
Apparently. There we go.
But so that is our 3 count. Now that wraps that up, it was wild moments, big shifts, serious momentums. But now it's time to look ahead because the road ends here. This weekend, we finally finish off this year's road to WrestleMania. 2 massive nights, 2 huge events, 1 epic weekend. So let's go ahead and do our predictions for NXT Stand and Deliver, for WrestleMania XL, Night 1 and Night 2. I have the card here in front of me. We'll go ahead and start with Stand and Deliver. We have, in order from what they've said is going to happen on the card, so this should be how the nights run.
Okay.
Opening match for Stand and Deliver, Metaphor versus Fatal Influence versus Chemical X versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, because apparently all she had to do was say sorry. And now she has
no, this was more a Roxy just want to be on the show, and so I think Metaphor wins it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to add to that prediction, they're winning the titles on Tuesday.
I would agree with that. I would love...
And I say that, I say that because I can go ahead and tell you there's no chance that Bayley and Lyra are winning those titles.
No. We'll get to that, but no. I wish I could disagree with you just for the fact of there be some tension of like who we think is going to win, but no, I agree with you. Jakara and Lash are primed to win this. The only one that may get it to me is maybe Chemical X, and that's just because they've been pushing them over on TNA. So
I think they won't because they're more likely to put the TNA titles on them, which again would make 100% sense, and I'd be fine with.
Yeah. So I agree with you. Metaphor wins that. And they probably get those tag titles in the future. Makes perfect sense. We have the ladder match for the North American women's title. Zarya versus Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka. Versus Izzy Dane, Lola Vice, and Thea Hale. I want to go ahead and say my pick first because I would have picked Thea Hale if I would have known that she was in here to begin with. I'm going Thea Hale 100%.
I'm with you.
I want her to win this so bad.
I am with you so much on this. Like when she came back last night, I didn't see it live. I messaged Michael and was like, Thea Hale's back.
I am so happy that the little gremlin is back.
Love her.
Just the energy and everything that she pulls. Her coming back for this, it just makes sense for her to win it. Like I don't know why we would not do that.
I'm playing with my backgrounds. Just keep going.
You
I'm seeing if one of those.
you
None
do
of
what you
those
do.
are fixing my blurriness. I don't understand this.
I wonder if it's just like you sitting back and going forward.
It may be,
I wonder
and
if
it
that's
may be
just
the shirt color and any of a number of other
yeah.
things.
Um,
Shout out to Bucky's. Got this weekend for my birthday.
yeah, I got that Bussy shirt on.
Got my Bussy shirt.
Gotta go to Bussy's, see the beaver. Next match, Fatal 4-Way. Stephanie McCour versus Julia versus Jordan Grace versus Jada Parker.
I have two picks here.
Who's gonna win? Who do you want to win?
Who's gonna win? Stephanie's keeping the title.
Okay.
Who do I want to win? Miss Parker.
Okay.
Did you see her promo Tuesday night?
I did.
So good. And the fact that she pointed out she's the only homegrown talent made me want her to win it more.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on there. I think she could win it. We could spin this off, and Julia and Stephanie can do their own thing because there's obviously a little rivalry there now that she's come back. And apparently, you dye your hair blue and you become a heel. That's how things work. So if you're a woman, just dye your hair blue, and then you're a bad guy. I think she's gonna win it. It makes sense. I do think there's the chance for Jordan Grace to get it.
Possibly. I've thought of that too.
But I want Jay to get it just for that reason. For that reason of her being the only homegrown talent.
I need her to beat like Julia, not Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't. Stephanie should not take this L if she loses the title.
Okay.
If Jada Parker wins, she should pin Jordan. Do something to build on this because these are your four top ladies.
Yeah.
Roxanne's moving up after Mania. I think Cora may go with her. Like, I think they move Cora up too. I think they're moving Metaphor up, thus the win and win the titles.
Yeah.
I
think for what we've seen in the women's tag division on the main roster, I think we need to move both of them up together just because they're a good tag together.
God damn it.
You keep messing with it.
This camera's pissing me off.
So I agree with that. I think Roxanne and Cora probably go up together as a tag team.
Yeah.
Because they need more legit tag teams up there.
Fair. I agree.
I think it's a good place to start her too.
Yeah.
All right. Raxium versus Hank and Tank.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but honk, honk. I think Hank and Tank win this.
I'm going to go against the grain because I will never doubt Fraxium again. Because every single time I'm like, they're going to break up. They're going to fight in this match. They're going to break up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But honestly, I feel like if you're going to do it on a big stage, this is it.
Yeah.
So, I think Hank and Tank win this, which is just crazy to say.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But, I think we have new tag champs.
We got Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page.
I am so pissed they are doing this match.
Okay. Why?
Who did Ricky beat for the title?
Good point.
Spears don't get a rematch? And can we just talk about the fact that they all three came from AEW and you just have them in this little thing now? Stop it. How many times do we bitch about WWE guys that go to AEW and end up wrestling each other?
Yep.
This is the same thing.
My thing is, we were building this up to be a multi-man match. And then just last minute, we're like, nah. You guys fight. They get to fight Ricky. Like, we could have got four other dudes on the card.
I would rather this have been like a 6-person match.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go crazy, put all 6 of them in it, and go from there.
Give me a scramble match.
Literally, and I'd have been fine. Huh?
Give me a scramble match. I love scramble matches.
Something. But it's one of those that literally, first of all, you're not taking the title off of Ricky 2 weeks after he fucking won it.
No.
I mean, we took the title off of Shawn 3 weeks after he won it, but here, hold this.
Yeah.
But I'm all for doing something crazy, and you really starting to wonder if he's actually going to lose this title before he loses his title.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Oh.
like, I don't think it hurts to do that.
Yeah,
So, whatever, though. I just work here.
just work here. That's it. All right. We got the D'Angelo family versus Dark State. They haven't said specifically which members of Dark State are going to be part of the match, so I'm not going to say who it is. But
Let's be
that
honest. It
group.
doesn't matter which members it is. Stax is turning on Tony. They're losing this match. Or the family is turning on Tony. I'm not sure which.
I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Stax. I do think Stax is probably, the way they're doing this, he's probably the leader of Dark State.
That'd be pretty solid.
Because they've been digging
I'm
into
fucking
them.
moving on blurry. What the fuck?
He's the one that came up with the info of who they were.
Yeah.
He's been the heir apparent to lead the family, but Tony doesn't really let him do that, and then yells at him if he doesn't take the initiative. So it just makes sense for him to find his own family.
I agree.
All right. Main event of the evening, we got Javon Evans, the young OG himself, versus Trick Willie versus Obafemi. Who you got?
Who you got? I've been picking first on a bunch of these, so
that's
I'm
a good
curious
point.
to see.
I'm gonna stick with Oba. I don't think he's ready for the main roster, which would be the only reason for him to lose it. Trick Willie is mostly ready to move up. He's cooled off a lot over the last few months.
He has. I'll give you that.
So with that being case, I think he's cooled off a bit. But
I think the young OG wins and both of them move up.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I would
Tell
not,
me
I would not be against it.
Put Oba on Raw.
Mhm.
His first feud should be Braun Breaker.
Okay.
Two meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah.
The Big E special. It's going to make Braun look good.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get Oba over, whether he wins or loses. Put Trick on SmackDown, and his first feud is Mello and Miz. His first feud is Miz, and Mello's kind of caught in the middle.
That can make sense.
Because if you're gonna make somebody a star, who is the perfect first feud every time?
Miz. 100% every time.
That man does not get his flowers like he should.
No. I like it. Young OG getting that title.
I like it.
Yeah.
The fact that Trick has started doing it now makes it even funnier.
Okay. I'm good with that. I'm still gonna stick with Oba myself, but I can completely see where you're coming from on that. That makes perfect sense.
I think Javon has done enough that he is a believable champion, even short term.
Yeah,
a believable champion.
Well, and to play the devil's advocate with you and say, why bring up two of the main guys here? Look at the men's roster currently in NXT. We're starting to get a bit crowded. We're already crowded in the women's division. We won't even talk about that because a few of them need to go up too. But we're at a point we got Ricky Saints, we got Ethan Page, we got Lexis King that's been scratching the surface, Wesley that's been scratching the surface. Even though Mr. 10 himself he's really just kind of there to help build up people, but you still got him that could easily be the main event guy 100%. For NXT for a little while. And even Tyler Breeze has said that he wants to get back in the ring. He's been doing a lot of stuff backstage for him. He says he wants to be able to show up on NXT and do some work. So he could pop in and run that for a little bit.
I don't care how old Breeze is. You could put the title on him right now, and he can go with anybody in that company.
Shit, yeah.
Anybody in that company. And I'm talking main roster down. I would put Breeze in the ring with anyone, and it's going to be a great match.
Yeah. Well, and especially
my camera just hates me tonight. It is what it is.
First of all, we got Dango popping in and out. Please have Dango come in and just give me, the Fashion Police just for one night. Just so I can see them do some funny shit. All right. Well, that closes up Stand and Deliver.
Should be an amazing show. I can't wait.
I love that it's gonna be on the same day. I'm gonna be so tired come Monday. I've thought about calling in
How many
because
times? Think about how many times what originally was just uh shit. What do they call them to start with?
takeovers.
Takeovers. The, think about the first takeover.
Mm-hmm.
Was Brooklyn, wasn't it?
I don't remember. Brooklyn might have been the first one, but even
I
if
think
not, like
Brooklyn was the first one.
those shows were insane of how good they were. So
No,
much so, like
that was August.
we thought they were better in most cases than the pay-per-view that followed it.
NXT Dallas. They
Okay.
didn't have it was Takeover Dallas.
Yeah.
Joe and Finn for the title. You remember how banger that show was?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, and then the main card was just ass.
Usually.
And then the next year was Orlando, Bobby Roode Shinsuke for the title.
Yeah.
That card was fire. The main show was ass.
But to equate it to what we're looking at today, though, like at the time we were looking at Vince, who was on decline, which one of like we were talking about the media tours that Tripp was doing. One of the ones he got into, he talked about Vince and like the downfall of what happened. And he was like, honestly, it's just he got old in the tooth and like he lost a step. And so we're talking about a time where Vince had lost a step, and so we were booking the same shows week after week, forgetting that we did the match before. And Tripp was doing NXT. Well, now we're in a case where Tripp's doing NXT, Tripp's doing, main roster, Sean's doing NXT, and if he has any question, he calls Tripp up, and Tripp and him work together. This is going to be an insane three event, like a triple event here.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we got
good.
we got the Go Home SmackDown Friday. Right after that, we've got the Hall of Fame.
Do you realize the Hall of Fame starts at like 11 o'clock our time or some shit? Midnight, some bullshit.
Yep.
I'm watching that Saturday morning.
I might watch it that night.
I'm not staying up that late. No, the fuck I'm not. Not when we got a 10 o'clock pay-per-view. The fuck I am.
I might.
Oh, and that the women's match is on the pay-per-view, on the pre-show.
The women, which
The
women?
tag match?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's on their pre-show.
It's on the pre-show.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to put that on the pre-show?
How are you going to put a match on the pre-show? I want matches on the main roster on the pre-show.
No. I need matches on every pre-show. Okay?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There should be at least one, possibly two.
I miss those days. Well, and especially because like they've already said it's going to be like a 9-hour thing for WrestleMania day 1 and day 2.
Speaking of,
and it's going to be
you
like
have Fightful Select, right?
Yes.
Did Nick Khan really say he wants WrestleMania to be 24 hours?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read that. I didn't look into news because I didn't figure we'd have enough space for news today.
Okay, shoot me the main card for day 1 real quick while you look that up.
Okay.
Because I'm like, did he really fucking say this? I guess I could just look it up, but whatever.
No, you're good. You're good. Oh, no, what? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Trying to send a picture. Copy the picture.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that thing I sent you.
Yeah, I saw that already, and still good second time around.
So while you go look for that, I'm assuming these are in order.
Yes, that's in order.
Okay. The War Raiders versus the New Day jerks the curtain at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Who you got?
I got the New Day.
I do too. I hope they win it. I hope they win it just so they can say they were right.
Yeah. Well, it's just if we don't do it, what has been the point? We turn them 100%. Heel. We have them turn on everything that they're wanting to do. We finally get them a shot at the title.
Yes.
What's the point? And here, so I do have a little bit of prop bet on that. Um,
Okay.
so there's a lot of question of why is this one on the card and the one that we actually built up is not, because the tag match that we have for the Profits, like this has been a whole
It's on
thing.
Friday.
It's on
It's on
Friday,
Friday.
and it's been a whole thing of building that tag division up. Why are we not
I
doing that
don't
one?
disagree at all.
So there's got to be a reason, right? What if Big E gets involved in some way?
What if Big E comes out with the War Raiders? I agree. I'm with you on this. I feel like there's more to it. If we're gonna put this on the main card, but not that whole thing with the Street Profits and everybody else,
Yeah.
makes no sense whatsoever. Rey Mysterio against Chad. A horrible gimmick. Gable.
No, there is no proof that that is Chad Gable.
I will leave this show right now.
That could be Vince McMahon into that match for all we know.
Next, you're going to tell me it's Mr. America and people are going to stop booing.
It's him, brother.
Shit.
Shenanigans and Chad wins.
Ray is losing, but Chad's mask is coming off.
I don't think the mask comes off yet.
I do.
If it does, it's going to be something weird of like Chad goes into the ring and someone comes out in the mask and it's not
telling
Chad.
you, it needs to be like Ivy Nile or Julius Creed. Somebody that there's no chance that it's Chad Gable. I'm done with my camera. It is what it is at this point. I hate this. I quit. I think Ray wins. I don't like it, but I think Ray wins. Jade Cargill and Naomi.
This one's weird, right? Because we could be building something up for the next night. It could be just the match.
I think this is going to surprise a lot of people for how good this match will be. But they're going to beat the dog piss out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been watching them on Twitter all day?
Absolutely.
The shit is so good. Honestly, I think Naomi wins.
Okay. I don't think so.
You think Jade wins?
Either person that loses here to me is the wrong call. And that's just because do you have Jade lose the first big one-on-one match, or you have this turn of Naomi with this new gimmick? Do you have her lose her first match as this new gimmick? Either way.
I think Naomi's win is absolute shenanigans.
Okay.
I don't think it's a clean win, but I think Naomi wins. Well, snatches her wig off or something. Just something crazy. Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. Yeah.
Fatu. All day long.
Yeah, Jacob's getting his title. The only reason he won't is if Solo costs him the title to start whatever they're going to do with that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think Jacob wins the title.
The only way he loses that title is if for some reason Solo gets involved and fucks him over. Building that up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If Solo, either Jacob wins or Solo costs Jacob the title.
Yeah.
It's Tiffy time against that one chick who likes to go off script when she doesn't get
against her grandma. Yeah, to me, it passing on the torch. Tiffany gets it.
Tiffy. I do worry about Charlotte going into business for herself.
I don't think she would
bit.
I don't think she would in the match. Her doing that shit in the promos, that's normal. That's her like trying to get one up, but I don't see her doing it with that. Do you remember if it was their free stuff or if it was on Select?
Select.
It was on Select? Okay. So
yeah.
I'll pop over there now. I'm looking everywhere and I'm not seeing anything.
I'm with you. I think Tiffy wins. I think this is a passing the torch moment. And then I think we move Charlotte to Raw.
Okay.
They're going to get them as far away from each other as possible. That 0-3 comment, you can't come back from that.
No.
It was a cheap shot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely it was.
Gunther versus 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Jey Uso.
It's Jay. Like,
It's Jey. It's his time.
not only that, but just like it's another. It's like with the New Day thing. If we don't do it, what are we doing? What was
Yeah.
the point of any of this?
Of the beatdown of all of this.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if Kaiser gets involved and Jimmy comes back.
Okay.
And I think it would be a good way to do that. But you don't have Jimmy come down the ramp. You have him come through the crowd so nobody sees him coming.
Okay.
And then finally, the one man in wrestling that we can all get behind, Seth Rollins, against the other man in wrestling that we're pretty solidly behind, CM Punk, against, well, that guy.
That guy.
That's all I got for him today. That is all I have for that man today.
Not that guy treatment.
That guy. He's not fuck that guy.
He's just that guy.
That guy.
He's just.
That's what he's getting from me right
He's
now.
not the guy. He's just a guy.
I don't have a lot of. Yeah, I just don't.
I know the common consensus is that Seth comes away with it. And I can't really fight that because Seth kind of needs it.
So somebody pointed out something that Seth said on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you saw it or not. And I want to say it was Stephanie Hypes that said it, who's been on a show with John and Jess.
Yeah.
He said the same thing Cena said before the heel turn. It's what's best for business.
A good point.
She said that, and I went, "Oh fuck!" And now we've done this whole thing with Paul Heyman. He leaves with Seth, but who's in charge of that group?
Yeah.
So what is Paul still doing? Showing the family love.
Yep. He's just going with the real head at the table.
Yep.
That's not a bad point. And I've got a theory rolling around in my dome that we'll talk about here in a bit. That kind of ties both nights together because it's something very similar. I can't find anything on that, so I don't.
Okay.
I don't know what that was from or what have you, but all right, we'll move over to night 2. We've got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. We both already kind of said who we thought was going to come with that. I do think someone's turning in this match, and I don't think it's Bayley.
I think it's Lyra?
She has been stale. No one understands the gimmick. You're going to have her facing Bayley. We've been teasing this Bayley heel turn. But then we're just big showing her because she was just a heel. And so I don't think we're going to turn her heel again right now. You have her face a heel Lyra for that title, get the title onto Bayley, make the title mean something, yada, 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 refresh for Lyra's character. That's just a side thing, but
I like it.
Regardless, Liv and Raquel are walking away with this. You're not going to have them win this title just to lose it to Metaphor like in a couple of days.
I agree.
We have
Natalya has arrived at Bloodsport 6 minutes ago.
I'm telling you,
They introduced her as Natty Neidhart.
I might watch that tonight. I want to see her whoop some ass.
I may have to turn that on.
Oh
shit, they're doing this like no ropes or anything either.
Yeah. You know, it's
okay.
Yeah, that's how they do Bloodsport. It's
okay.
It's like underground.
Okay.
It's just mat. We have the phenomenal AJ Styles against the fuck that guy Logan Paul.
I said it earlier. This match is going to absolutely cook. I fucking hate it. Let me be clear, because Logan Paul is absolutely fuck that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
But this match is going to be so fucking good. So fucking good.
It will be. Who do you think's winning?
I think, God damn it, I don't want to say it, but I think Logan wins it.
Okay. Do you think he
I think
wins it shenanigans? Do you think he wins it outright?
I think AJ puts him over.
So I think Logan Paul is not what this story's about. I think Logan
Okay.
Paul wins by DQ
Because of
because we finally get the bulldog out of AJ Styles, and he
he just
beats
beats the
the
piss out of him.
shit out of Logan Paul.
Okay. I can.
I do still think, and I just posted this on our TikTok today, so anybody that's watching our shorts or our TikToks, thank you for that. Those have been doing wonderfully. The last one we did over 1,900 views. So that's
I'm
awesome.
sorry, what?
Yeah, last one I posted, 1,900 views
On TikTok?
on TikTok. So
Shut up.
yeah, we're doing really well over there. All thanks to Opus Clips. Thank you, Opus Clips.
Who?
That's the thing I use to do the, like, it just cuts down our stuff.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I do still think we're going to set up that move though of recreating the Ricochet moment. I still think that's going to happen at some point in the match, just because then it's really easy, especially with Ricochet running his mouth right now. So we definitely want to get rid
Here's
of
the
that.
problem. Here's the problem with redoing that spot.
Mhm.
You just give Ricochet more shit to run his mouth about.
Mhm.
I'm not there anymore, so you had to redo this so you could use the footage because I did it so well the first time.
Yeah, but we're
Okay, first of all,
in a habit of punching down though, so it's fine.
I love it for his heel run.
Yeah.
Do I think they need to do this? No, I don't. Don't do it. Oh,
Oh,
once we get done,
yeah. Yeah, we still got that to go. After we're done
I just
here,
thought
we're
about
going to
it.
do an AEW box reveal. It's already been opened, but it's a reveal.
Yes, because I was not waiting this
You
long.
could not wait to open it.
No, I couldn't. I was so excited about this one.
So all right. So next match we have for the Intercontinental Championship, a fatal 4-way: Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio.
I hate to agree with Sped. I think Dom wins. I think Dom wins this.
I think Dom wins, and I think he pins Finn to do it.
I agree. I agree. And I think Carlito was there, and they mug Finn after.
Okay. I don't quite know about mugging, but
I think they jump Finn after, throw him out of the Judgment Day, and then find somebody new, which could be Braun Breaker.
oh shit. All right.
I'm not 100% sold on that, but
I think if you kick Finn out, which is that's going to happen regardless, whether it happens on WrestleMania or some nights after. If you kick him out and do a beatdown out, like, I like that idea, but then have Finn not show up for a few weeks, but have the remnants of the demon still showing up in Judgment Day promos, whether it's a mask or a toy or whatever, like whatever.
Here's the thing. You do this, you take, like you said, take Finn off TV for a little bit. When you bring him back, it's against Dom. It's for the title. He comes out as the demon. And the first time they have the match, Dom runs. He just dips. Like through the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
you see him out the door of the arena into a vehicle. And then you don't see Dom for like 2 weeks.
Because you don't want
And
no part
Liv
of that.
shows up. And Liv shows up going, "Where is Dom?" Like, she has no idea where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Something just crazy like that. But I think Dom wins.
Uh,
I think this is
Speaking of wanting nothing to do with that, before we move on to the Damian Priest Drew McIntyre match, Carlito wanting nothing to do with Braun Breaker for a second week in a row has broken the internet again because on Raw, Breaker shows up at the end of the rampway. Carlito looks and sees where he is, which is right in the line of fire again, and he booked it.
he was done.
I'm not doing this shit again.
Mm-mm.
Awesome. All right. The match that I particularly don't care about. I mean, it's two big meaty men slapping meat, but I don't think we've built this really well. I don't think, other than the fact that it's going to be a good street fight because it's going to be a Sin City street fight. I'm not sure what that means other than street fight. Are we going to have the hose out there? Is MJF's local talent going to show up? But Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Sans the eye patch because he finally took the eye patch off. Apparently, like his eye is healed from the glass issue.
Rhea showed up in a miniskirt. I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted.
Where did she show up in a miniskirt?
At the photo thing at wherever, like 2 hours, like, fuck.
You know
I'm no better than anybody else.
you know what to do. But while you're doing that, who you got, Damian or Drew?
Damien,
Okay.
100%. Damien is. This is what gets Damien back on track to be Jay's first feud, and it's a mutual respect feud.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a I'm coming after you. I'm gonna cheat. It's a mutual respect feud.
So this is the first one that we're legit going to differ on. I think it's Drew.
Okay.
I think Drew's going to take it. I think it's better for him because I think he's still ready for that main event spot.
Okay.
I think Damian still has some work to do. And so I think this pushes Drew
Okay.
back up there. It gets Damian to a little reset spot. That's just my opinion.
Okay. I can get behind it though.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. This is one of those that whoever wins, it doesn't hurt the other,
No.
and they could both still go after Jay.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm thinking too of like, where do we go from this?
Yeah.
If Drew loses, he doesn't really have a right to say now I deserve a spot to go for the world title. Honestly, I would have Damian lose, and I would have him switch shows.
Have him what?
Have him switch shows.
Move him to SmackDown?
Yeah.
All right.
Get him some fresh
Him and
faces over there,
Jacob?
some fresh feuds.
Him and Jacob?
Yeah, that
Don't
could
we
be
do the
good.
draft like 6 days after Mania or some shit? Like Mania's over and 4 hours later we start the draft or something?
If we have a draft, and then if we don't, then we end up having a draft like in January, and then we end up having a free for all where people can go back because we can't just have a draft. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, the most convoluted storyline that we have going today.
I am telling you right now, this is going to be the match of the weekend.
Okay.
This match is going to be fucking amazing.
I could be down for that.
I think I'm really torn on this. I think Bianca wins. Do what?
Sorry, I need to turn that off. Sorry.
I think Bianca wins. I want Io to win.
I think Io wins.
I think Bianca wins. I think with everything we're doing, I think Bianca wins because we're going to swing the Jade Naomi storyline back to Bianca, and then the title's involved.
See, I think for that's the reason that we don't get that is because I don't think they want the title involved with that.
Fair enough. I would love for Io to win this. She deserves her flowers.
Mm-hmm. especially with what's been
Now,
happening, the disrespect, the pie facing, they're,
the
they're
little sistering her.
yeah. I think her coming out on top of this would be an amazing spot. That is definitely one of those good feeling things, especially because this is the pre-main event. This is like right after this is the main event, and we're not gonna go home happy. So
I
we want
I'm
our
gonna
feel
go
good
home
moment.
happy
Well,
because
I know,
I'm fine with it.
but you want that feel good moment.
Yeah, this
Like
is it.
that's the feel good moment. We can hold
I'm
on
with
to
you.
the fact that
I'm
she's
with you.
pointing at herself, holding the title. She beat the two behemoths. So, um, but I could see Bianca winning it too. Like
I
that's
can't. Like I said, the one to me, the one given, Rhea's not winning.
no
She doesn't need the title to be relevant or important.
right. Um,
She's Rhea. She
well,
doesn't need it.
she's added to this for star power. Like that's what it
Yes.
is.
Yep.
Her being in this match made it a match for
More
Mania.
interesting. Yep.
So either way, I agree with you. She's not getting it.
Otherwise, in a 5-card match, this is like that second match or the fourth match that nobody cares about.
Well, and so like just to piggyback the previous match that I said, send her too.
Yeah.
So send the Terror Twins to SmackDown after Mania. They get a fresh run of people that are down there. Her and Tiffy would be
Rhea's
fun.
on SmackDown. Rhea's on SmackDown.
Is she? Oh, oh yeah, that's right.
No. Yeah, because no, Damien's on SmackDown. Move him back to Raw. He's on SmackDown because
Oh,
they
okay.
split them up. Rhea's on Raw.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, I don't keep him on SmackDown then. Bring Rhea there and do the Terror Twin thing to help build him back up. All right, main event, the one everybody's talking about. It's what Mania has been built on. We got Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Tell me who's going to win, and I'm not going to be surprised.
John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena.
Okay. I'm the
from
first to admit I have not always been on the John Cena bandwagon.
Yeah.
I have made a lot of fun of John Cena over the years. I love this character.
This character is great.
This heel turn is about 5 to 7 years overdue.
Yeah. I was not behind this when we went to Rumble. I was very much like, he's not going to win the Rumble. That's not going to happen.
Right.
And then everybody was behind him to win the Chamber. I'm like, he's not going to win the Chamber. No way he's going to win the Chamber. We've got all this time. He's the whole year for him to get the 16th title. We're not going to do it right at the start. And then he wins Chamber.
And then he won the Chamber.
I can't vote against him. It makes all the sense in the world. Go ahead and get the 16th, get it out of the way. Because here's the thing I see in my brain, right? And this is the fantasy thing. But here's what I see in my brain. Do you remember, was it 18? Hogan Rock? Was that 18, I think?
I think.
Okay.
Or was it X7? It was 18.
It was 18? Yeah, I remember something. That picture afterwards. Well, good, because I didn't ask you anything. All right. My little hootsy's trying to answer questions that I didn't ask her. That shot we had of Hogan holding his ribs, hand out to shake the hand of The Rock, and having that turn. We're having that. That's going to happen at some point. John Cena needs the title for that to happen, though. He has the title. He faces whoever it is. If you give it back to Cody, if he gives it to some young kid on the unbecoming, hell, if you give it to fucking Kaiser, I don't care who it is. That's the hand raise moment. That's you're giving the torch. You're passing the torch. You're giving the flowers of whoever you're beating. You stand there, beat down, shake his hand. The fans forgive you. You finish out this run as the babyface John Cena that we know you're going to be before you retire.
Yeah.
The only way that doesn't happen is if he says, "Fuck this, I'm taking this home," and literally retires with the belt. It's the only way that doesn't happen. But yeah,
I think Cena wins. I think he keeps it till SummerSlam-ish.
yeah, somewhere in there.
I think Seth turns on him and takes the title.
There's so many turns you can do out of this. I think Seth turning, that's not a bad idea. I do have to say, like, I have some other thoughts too of Cody gets it back, but we do it at the Garden. That way we have that moment of Dusty didn't win the title at the Garden. Cody gets the title back at the Garden.
Yeah.
That's, to me, is a good placeholder for that. I also see this. So there's going to be shenanigans in this match, obviously.
Oh, 100%.
This is going to be, 15 minutes of wrestling, 20 minutes of shenanigans. What if Cena let Jay win the Rumble? And what if Seth let Cena win the Chamber? So we get Jay as the World Heavyweight Champion, and we get Cena as the WWE Universal Champion, and him and Jay and Seth and Rock are all one big happy family.
With Paul Heyman. Wow.
Because Rock said, I am 20 steps ahead of all of you.
I don't want another bloodline match finish like we got last year.
No.
I need this finish to be straight up clean.
As clean as it can be. I mean, you're going to have shenanigans.
Right. I just... That whole mess last year was a mess. It was so... And it needed to be because of what they did. But...
It was fun. It needed to be fun.
Cena wins. Wow, that'd be crazy.
I mean, if you think about it, like, Rock comes out, Jay comes out because Jay's boys with Cody, and now he's big man on campus because he's got the title. So why not go there to help your boy just to turn on Cody? Because he said a couple of times, talking about Jay, he said a couple of times now, you know how I am about my family. His last few promos has been a lot about his family, and we assume he's talking about Jimmy. What if he's talking about Rock?
He's not.
But that's me just fantasy booking. But either way, Cena walks away with it. Cena's gonna hold that title and hold it hostage. He said he's gonna take it. He's gonna take it home. So the question is, he takes it home. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. You want to do your question first?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So he takes it home. He only has a limited amount of bookings between now and the time he's done. So does he literally go home and we make a new title?
So here's my thought. He takes the title and goes home. Cody keeps talking about the title. Cult of Personality hits. Punk walks out and says, as someone who knows about taking your title and going home, I know how to get John back. And he starts doing whatever they've determined to do. Because remember how much they talked about Punk or they acted like Punk he didn't exist.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Punk does the same thing. Anytime somebody starts to talk about Cena, Punk's music hits. Something like that. You basically just switch Cena and Punk
Yeah.
from when they did this. And Cody comes out, starts talking about Cena, and Punk comes out. Stop talking about him. He doesn't matter anymore. We're going to do a tournament, blah, blah, blah. The finals of the tournament comes around. Whoever's in it, I'm assuming Cody, Punk, somebody. Cena shows up. Pulls up a chair on the stage, whatever. Whoever wins holds up the title. Cena's like, that's not the title. This is the title. And there's your title match.
Yeah. That can make sense. I could be down for that. All right. Twists, turns, crazy things happening.
It's
major
it's gonna
nights.
be a lot.
It's gonna be a lot.
It's gonna be a lot.
Let's get to some fun though.
I told Mary, I'm like, this weekend is gonna be just all wrestling. I'm
Let's
like, there's
see.
so much. I said there's so much wrestling to watch, and she said, "Oh yeah, I can tell you're real heartbroken about it."
Yeah.
But baby, it was more an apology to you of the fact that I'm not going to be present for shit this weekend.
Yeah, I've already so on Triller.tv, folks. Get it, it's cheap. There is literally a tab for WrestleMania week. And it's all of the things that they're showing for WrestleMania week. And so I'm going
I am
one show at a
mildly
time.
upset with the timing of Stand and Deliver because it's also the time of Big Gay Brunch, and I want to see Kid Bandit, Zack Sabre Jr. Friend of the show and our first interviewee, Kid Bandit.
That's right. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to watch both.
Right.
I'm going to have one down here and one up here.
The first thing that was in this box, this was the very top thing.
Hold on. This is the AEW crate.
Yes, this is my all elite crate.
This is the new one.
Can you see it?
Well, it keeps tricking out. So there we go. The Switchblade shirt.
Yes, I was super excited about this shirt.
It looks soft as hell too.
It's super soft. Hang on, let me turn off the blur here. You're just gonna have to live with the room that Grace still hasn't cleaned. I was super excited about this one too because it is Miss Mariah May.
Yes.
Love this shirt.
That's a great shirt.
I'm excited about this shirt.
Yeah.
And then I got my little card telling me everything in it. And
except for it was incorrect, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yes, we'll get into that in a minute. I got a little code here for if anybody plays Figure Fighters.
AEW
I have a little I have a little code here for Cope and the Death Riders.
Oh.
Somebody wants it, message me. It's all yours.
There you go.
There's a Hurt Syndicate koozie.
There you go. We hurt people and drink beer.
We hurt people. That music is so good. There is an Orange Cassidy fanny pack.
Nice.
Got his little face on it there. There's a Kenny Omega pin.
Oh, see, now I'm jealous of that.
I thought that was fucking cool.
You know how I am about pins.
Yes. That's going to go in my backpack. There is a Darby Allin flamethrower micro brawler.
That's cool.
I'm like, why didn't it come with climbing gear? There's a Double or Nothing Hangman on his horse magnet. I'm like, this may be the dumbest thing in here, and I fucking love it.
That's great.
Like, I'm excited about it.
Look at that every time we grab a monster. Gonna be looking at that every time you grab a monster.
And then the last one is why this little card is funny. So the little card says everything that's in this little box. And in the upper right corner on my screen, it says Kyle Fletcher autographed 8x10. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I open said envelope. Here, let me clear up the picture again. My camera hates me tonight. And I opened the picture, and I had seen something about this on Twitter and was really confused by it. That's not Kyle Fletcher.
Nope. That's not even an AEW talent.
That is the North American champion, Ricky Saints. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of excited about this picture, but I was like,
Honestly,
that's not Kyle Fletcher.
I'd be a tad more.
So
One,
yeah.
because I'm a
So
big
now
Ricky
I
Saints
have
fan, but two, that means that's a collector's item because you got a Ricky Starks signed 8x10.
so needless to say, I had a good laugh at that, but it was, not what they said it was.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You know what? Next time I see you, Kenny Omega pin is yours.
Oh no, put that on your bag.
Nah.
Here,
I got my wicked one.
Hold on, real quick. I got a little one getting my attention. Second.
You're good. Hi, little one. I know you can't hear me, but hi, little one. But yeah, I'm a big fan of these boxes for anybody that's still watching while Michael talks to his youngest. And if you get them, get yours. They're great. Get a lot of good stuff for comparatively a cheap price. Because I mean, just the shirts alone are, $30 a shirt, and the whole box is $60. So totally worth it. You get the chance, get your All Elite crate, get one a quarter. So yeah, get yours. I'm excited about the Switchblade shirt too. I'm really hoping one of these boxes has something by Mel Coleman, who is a friend of the show, and we love her artwork.
All right.
I was filling everybody in on getting a crate, and it's awesome. And cost wise, it actually is really cheap comparatively because 2 shirts is $60 and the whole crate $60.
Yeah, it is really cheap. I have thought about going on there, not getting the full crate, but Pro SNTs has their crate. They actually have a pin crate, which is like it's $8 a month or something like that, and you get like 2 pins.
Really?
And I'm like, I'd get 2 pins for $8 a month.
Yeah.
I'll have to get a bigger bag, but my entire shit's covered in it right now. Just because I got some new ones, but that's a whole other conversation. Well, all right. That was a good
It is
box.
definitely going to be a very long weekend.
I got, if you look back here, I got a new picture for my background. It is a yeet.
Nice.
So now I can yeet. I realized I just had the 3 count up that entire time.
Yes, you did. I just didn't care.
A little bit of programming news since the last time. We got 5 more followers on YouTube just since our last episode. So thank you so much for joining us there.
Very nice.
A couple of them were just from me hanging out in the run-ins comments, and they joined us up as well. Want to know what our stuff was. And a few of them are just been because they loved our shorts. The shorts have been doing really well. A lot of comments from it. A couple that I had to block because they were being idiots. That's all there is to that. We're just gonna leave it there.
Okay.
People don't disrespect my best friend, and people don't disrespect our first interviewee. So,
okay, that's kind of enough said.
Yeah. So we'll go from there. Anyway, stay tuned though, because when Sean and Gus crash a high society wedding to cover a stolen antique ring, they expect champagne and secrets, but not murder. What begins as a slick heist turns into full-blown whodunit, and this time, the bride and groom aren't the only ones with something to hide. Catch the next episode of Psych, where we hear wedding bells ring, and so do alarms.
So apparently TNA Unbreakable was tonight.
Yeah.
Chris Bay is in the house. Very nice.
It's gonna be crazy.
That's very cool.
Crazy next few days. A lot of stuff happening. I might end up staying up tomorrow night and watching the Hall of Fame specifically for one reason, and it's something I saw today. So, one of the local things on Triller that happened, I forget which one it was on. Butterbean came down, like in full gear, ready to fight somebody. I don't know if you saw him the last time we saw him, which was on a special with
He could
Dallas.
barely stand.
Yeah, he was all hunched over on crutches and stuff. He walked down, and I didn't see what he did yet, but it's like he was coming down to fight somebody. And so that's awesome. Just for that alone, I want to see, because I know he's been training the hell out of Lex for this. And I wonder if it's to have him walk onto stage.
That'd be so cool.
So I was never a big Lex fan, but like he just.
I was a big fan of the total package Lex Luger. Once
Okay.
he became the narcissist and then went back and forth, I just stopped caring.
Yeah.
But in WCW, I was a big Lex Luger fan.
Okay.
And then the whole thing happened, and
Yeah.
then I was just like, "Nah, I'm good."
I don't know. Like I never connected with the character, but like any time though we see these guys who like they've spent their entire life beating up their body for our entertainment. And unfortunately he lost that fight. And to see him get a second chance, like I've been seeing the little things that Dallas has been putting up as far as like the little increments that they've been fixing.
Yeah.
And it's been nice to see him up and moving around again.
I thought it was very cool that Cody went to him in person to tell him about the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because they go back. I mean, because of Dusty.
Yeah.
Like he knew I want to say Lex and Dustin wrestled a few times.
Yeah. I will say after this year, I think it should have been this year, but I understand like if we're putting Lex in and what he's doing right now, whatever the Warrior Award or what, like I guess that's what we still call it.
Right.
We need to give that to Dally.
100%. 100%.
Because you've got Lex that you've turned around, Scott Hall, Jake Roberts,
Butterbean.
Bagwell is back on the indies. He's been working. And he flat out said, he's like,
that first dude that Dallas worked with.
Yeah. Arthur.
That was on the Walkers.
Yeah.
That guy's like running now. Like he has his own company, I think.
Yeah. He was the one that they tried, like when they were trying to sell, there's a lot.
Shark Tank.
Yeah. There's a lot to that because if Dally tells you he wasn't actually trying to sell the company, he was actually just, he did it for the publicity.
Yeah.
He was going to say no matter what they offered.
I'm not shocked at all.
But yeah, no, I mean, these guys that you could barely walk or couldn't turn their head, and now you look at them and they're out there killing it. And whether it's they're back into what they were doing or just being able to move and walk around for their life. When you look at Jake Roberts, he's out there, like he's not having matches with people, but he's out there at AEW and he's dropping DDTs once in a while and having face-to-faces with people and, you know, back to what he should be doing at his age. And just with that program itself, you look at people that do that program, like I've heard AJ does it, and of course, you know, Cody is a big
There's a ton of
it.
people that do it. And
they're lasting longer in the business because they're able to like rehab themselves using that program. It's a great program. I have it myself. I used to do it before I hurt my knee. I need to get back into it.
I tried to and couldn't get into it. I did
the program before it was a monthly thing. I've thought about signing up for the monthly thing because now it's like you actually join classes. And I think I think I could more do that and understand it than the DVD, like going session to session to session to session.
Yeah.
If I actually had like someone there virtually telling me what to do, I think it'd be a little bit easier to do. But with me, it's been more fear of my knee. I don't know if I want to.
Understandable.
Get down and try to do that, but no, yeah, I think he needs to get that that warrior award or humanitarian award,
agree.
whatever we're gonna call it. I think Dally at some point needs to get that. So, what do you think of the Hall of Fame this year?
First of all, doing it when they're doing it is crazy to me.
It's valid.
My
It's
thought
really
is
late.
here's my thing. You have nothing going Sunday before the pre-show. Why not do it then?
Yeah.
Why not do it Sunday morning?
Mm,
Or
yeah.
why not move Stand and Deliver to Sunday morning? Sunday at noon, whatever.
Yeah.
And do the Hall of Fame Saturday morning. So it's still before Mania. So you can still talk about it throughout Mania.
Yeah.
But we're not
I
doing this at midnight. This is crazy.
I would almost say do it before SmackDown. To me, like,
yeah.
have it as like a pre-show for that. But I don't know. I get it. It's a weird time to do it. They're trying to shove a lot of stuff into a weekend. So just,
Honestly, this is one of those things with you have the Netflix deal.
Mhm.
You could do it whenever you wanted to. Just put it on Netflix.
You could.
Carmen Petrovich is at Bloodsport.
Nice. So just kind of go through those entrants real quick. So they opened the Legacy wing back up, which apparently that had been closed for the last few years. So Legacy people that are going to get put in are Kamala, Dory Funk Jr., and Ivan Koloff.
And they should.
Yeah.
Kamala should have been in years ago.
I thought Kamala was already in. I could have sworn like he accepted at some point, but
Shayna Baszler's at Bloodsport too.
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Jonathan Gresham. Damn.
Jonathan has a match, I think.
They're just kind of going through all the different people that are there.
What do you think of them adding this immortal moment or match or whatever
Gabe
they're
Kidd. I get it. Fuck me, this camera. It's the shirt. I'm telling you, it's the shirt.
It's too much the color of the carpet. Like what are we looking
in the
at?
Background, but it's one of those things. I get it. I get why we're doing it. Do I think that it's necessary? Do I think that it adds anything? No. It gives you an excuse to make more people 2-time Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
2-time, 3-time, whatever you want to call them.
It is 10:56 p.m. where we are, so we're gonna have a little kicking out of 2 after dark. This is just another blow me moment. That's all it
is.
That's all it is. It's another thing.
I give up on this camera
for them to go. Look at what we did.
Yes, it's 100%. We're just gonna rub one out for somebody. No, I agree completely. Do I think these matches are a big deal and important? Yes. Do I think we need a Hall of Fame category for them? No.
No, because the whole reason that, like, you have 2 Hall of Famers in the match for the one this year. It's Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania 13.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, the fact that match was so good is part of the reason they're in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Why are we
That's
saying?
what I'm saying.
Not only that, the match was so good. What's next? Weapons? Match types? Like what?
What are you gonna tell me next year? We're putting a ladder in?
Yep.
When is Vacant gonna get his Hall of Fame induction? He's had so many titles.
Right. Well, and he has a spot at Mania, which we didn't talk about, because Randy Orton versus Vacant.
That's right. Do we have any guesses on who that's going to be? I took my shirt off. I don't care. I'm jessing it. I'm jessing it up tonight.
Jessing it up tonight.
Love you, Jess.
I'm telling you right now, that's going on Twitter.
God damn it!
You
don't need to do
it up tonight.
You don't need to do that.
No. So I have thoughts of who it could be. I think the obvious ones people are saying it's Aleister Black because of the things we've been seeing with that. Miro has been confirmed that he signed back, and so he comes in.
I wouldn't hate that.
So I wouldn't hate it either. Here's the thing. I think people are giving way too much credit. I think it's probably going to be someone from the bloodline because that's what they set up. And everybody's like, no, he just did that because it's like it's a gotcha and it's find the shell. And I think you're giving them too much credit. I think they had to pivot as much as Triple H hates that word because it was
Pivot
supposed.
was hurt. The fuck else you gonna do?
That's what I'm saying. It had to be KO. And all of a sudden it's like 2 weeks before we're like, oh shit, KO can't do it. Fuck. So yeah, Solo's not doing anything. Throw Solo in there.
I think it's the Great Khali. I'm just kidding. It wouldn't surprise me if it was somebody like Hikuleo. Like, this is how you're debuting.
Could be.
Or it's Solo and Hikuleo gets involved.
Well, I'd like your first one. I think Solo coming down, and then the surprise is he's like, no, it's not me. It's him.
It's him.
That would be cool. Because there's got to be some sort of twist to it. It can't just be like Solo comes down, they have a match. But I think that's more the story. Is it's something with that. I tell you who I'd like it to be. I would like it to be, especially with who you think's going to win the title. I'd like Javon Evans. Having him come up, especially if he wins that title.
That repeat.
Just to run that back.
To run it back.
I think that would be really cool.
Here's the other thing. If Oba wins, it could be Trick.
Could be.
If Trick wins, it could be Oba. If Javon wins, it could be either one.
Yeah.
It could be any one of the three.
And here's the thing. I don't want to discourage anybody that says that it could be Aleister or it could be Rusev. My thing is, if you're going to debut them, they're not going to lose. And the fact that Randy is like, if I don't get my match, I'm going to RKO, the boss and all. I don't see him losing this match. So not only that, but it's like if, and I said this to Big Mike when he was talking about it. Aleister coming back, whether he comes back as a heel or a face, doesn't matter. That pop when the lights go out
and that music
hits, and if they do the raise thing, there's so much pop for that.
If you bring him back, especially somewhere like Vegas, because I think he lives in Vegas.
Does he? I don't know.
They may live in Florida, but I think he's either. I mean, I know he's from Amsterdam, but
maybe he's got a chalet in Vegas.
Whatever. This is not. Say where he lives. They reside in Tampa.
Okay.
But that crowd is going to lose it.
Yeah.
I'm done with this camera tonight. I'm done with it.
You've said that enough.
I'm really done with it this time. I'm not turning it back on.
Okay. I mean, to me, that's too big of a pop to waste for this because you're gonna have them come in and then immediately lose. Not that doesn't happen because we had the Ultimate Weapon over on AEW debut and then lose, but that's neither here nor there. So it's not that it doesn't happen, but I just don't see them using that debut in this particular situation.
I agree.
Either one of them. So
I do think if you bring Rusev back, you have him just put a beat down on Randy.
Yeah.
Like there's no match. He just beats the shit out of Randy.
Well, and so Jess, our friend over from the Lowdown, she'd mentioned like if it's Aleister, the lights should go out. The lights come back up and Aleister's already in the ring and kicks Randy and pins him.
Black mask, ball game.
Yeah. And if that's the case, all right. You got a surprise hit on
I agree.
Randy and it makes sense. But to him come out and have a match, I don't think it's a good call.
I agree.
to round out the Hall of Fame here real quick, so we do have tag teams going in. The Natural Disasters are going in this year. Well deserved. Wonderful, wonderful tag team. They were, despite being heels, were one of my favorites back in that
I was
day.
a huge fan.
Um,
Huge fan of them.
it was
Partly
just
because I was
something
a
about
chunky
them.
kid.
What's that?
Because I was a chunky kid
'Cause you
and
were
I felt like I
yeah.
was.
But they were so good, and like, I don't know, like, I was a Hulkamaniac. I was, you know, unapologetically back in the day. But Typhoon turning on him, Tugboat turning on him, coming Typhoon, like, that whole story I loved, and I followed him. It was fun. Lex Luger, which we talked about, which so far we don't know who's going to induct the Natural Disasters.
Harsh. Nice.
So I don't know. To me, that's got to be Jimmy Hart. Like that.
It's got to be. I don't want it to be because
Because
if he
Hogan's
shows
showing
up, that other guy shows up. But
Lex Luger is going in. Dallas is going to be the one inducting him.
is he?
Yep. Which
Nice.
perfect thing to do. Yeah. The only other person I would say would make it better is Sting, which I understand that there's probably a little hiccup in trying to do that.
I'm sure.
Not to mention, I would love to see Sting show up on that stage with that wonderful beard that he's got now. I don't know if you've seen this. He has got a glorious beard.
All right.
It's a full beard, but he still does the little black patch in the
Nice.
middle. It looks badass, especially when he still has the paint on. Michelle McCool's going in. The Undertaker is inducting her.
I don't like that. I don't like that. It should have been Layla.
Yeah. Layla's going to be there. She's already said that she's going to be in attendance, but
it should have been Layla. It should not be Taker. It should have been Layla, or it should have been somebody from that era.
Yeah.
That she wrestled,
like a Mickey or a
Mickey,
Trish,
Eve
or
Torres.
Somebody. Yeah. It's weird that it's
Alicia
Taker.
Fox would have worked too.
Alicia Fox. And then Triple H, Shawn is the one inducting him, which if it ends up just being just Shawn, it makes perfect sense either way.
Yes.
It should be the entire clique. They should all be there. But if it's just Shawn, it makes sense.
Kevin and Road Dogg and Waltman will be in attendance.
Yeah.
I would hope Billy's there, but we'll see.
Yeah. But it's decent people in there this year. Like, I can't really complain about the people going in. There's no Coco Bewares or anything getting put in this year.
No, there's nobody in this class that to me doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I will say, like, I like the fact that it's small too. Like, that's the thing, is like the last few years they've put in like 10 or 12 people. And it's like,
I'm good with the legacy people.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't need a whole thing for them.
No.
Tell me about their career, move on.
So it's going to sound horrible because like most of them probably have passed away. But to me, that should be like the memoriam at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Like, it's one slide of like, here's the people that are going to be in legacy this year.
If you're just doing those three, a little gloss over of their life and their career,
a little vignette.
Cool. Tom Lawler is one of the announcers. Oh, he's a piece of shit. I'm watching Bloodsport.
Okay.
God damn.
Who's Tom Lawler? I don't know who Tom Lawler is.
Filthy Tom Lawler. He's a New Japan guy mostly, but he's just a giant piece of shit too.
Okay. I will hear him shortly, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I like that as far as the main class, it's a smaller class. I don't understand having 12 people up there on stage and all of them getting, the rings and the speeches and all that. Like, it doesn't need to be a 3-hour event.
Oh, it's going to be.
Oh, probably.
2 hours after SmackDown 2. That shit isn't starting until 11 p.m. Vegas time.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it'd be that long. Well, the only reason it might be that long, so for the Immortal Moment at WrestleMania 13 match, that's being inducted by CM Punk. So you're gonna have CM Punk and Shawn Michaels and Triple H on the mic at some point in the night.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like,
Yeah.
2000s WWE all over again.
Yep.
But no, it's a good card though. I like who they're putting in this year. It gives me hope for the next years of like we're actually gonna get people that should be in the Hall of Fame and keeping it small and concise. I am with you though. I do hope they come up with a better time because you're talking about that being so late, and a few of those people are so old.
And then you got to turn around and do Stand and Deliver.
Yeah. Nobody's getting any damn sleep that night. That's all there is to it.
Nobody getting any damn sleep this weekend. The fuck you talking about?
That too. But all right. Is there anything left in the wrestling week that you want to talk about before we move on?
Nah, it's I just saw something that said they moved Collision because of WrestleMania. No, they moved Collision because of the hockey playoffs. Stop it. It didn't have anything to do with Mania. It had to do with the hockey playoffs. Turner's had that contract forever.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
I'm pretty sure it's helpful though that it's in the day and not during Mania.
But I'm not about to sit here and believe, oh, well, let's move Collision because it's WrestleMania weekend. No, we're not doing that. You run Collision every other fucking pay-per-view. Stop it.
Yep. Well, all right. Well, so for the people watching and the people that watch us back down on VOD, we are planning to be live streaming for Stand and Deliver for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. Things may change. I still haven't heard what our family's doing for Easter, so we might have things to do. I don't know. But as long as nothing happens, then we will be doing live stream for all three of those. So it's going to be a long weekend.
Yes.
But it'll be fun, though.
Fuck.
What happened?
Layla knocked that bitch out.
Oh.
Layla Hirsch is a bad bitch.
Oh, yeah, she is.
I was sad that AEW let her go, but she's a bad bitch. That little spark plug is a bad bitch.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we keep this up, we're going to end up live streaming Bloodsport. So I'm going to go ahead and cut us off here. We're 2 hours and 10 minutes into this stream, which is one of the longest ones.
We had a lot to cover tonight, though.
We did. We missed out on Tuesday, so we had to kind of wrap up everything into a small little package today to get ready for WrestleMania. But we are ready now. I cannot wait for it to see what's going to happen. But make sure that you follow us. Make sure you hit the bell. Make sure you do all the things. I'm turning into John now because I can't remember things that are at the tip of my tongue.
I was going to point down, and then I realized my camera's not on, so there's no fucking point.
I'm concerned with the camera off, which you're pointing at. But make sure to follow us on our personal accounts, which are below our names here. Follow us on the accounts for the channel down below. Our TikToks have been flying off the shelves, so the YouTube shorts, make sure to do those. Plus, I believe we're hitting up very close on the reinstitution of the TikTok ban, so who knows what's going to happen with that. But for now,
it's not going to get banned. It's going to get put. You know what? I'm not.
I know. I'm right there with you. It's a ploy. But in the meantime and in between times, I am Michael. Somewhere with that camera off is my auditory tag team partner, Tori. Literally my auditory tag team partner currently at the moment. We are kicking out too, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out at 2.